phrases are starting to happen. Hi, this is Sean. I recently taught a live lesson about creating improvisation phrases without the overwhelm. And we split things up into 3 phases. I've already shared phase 1 and 2 here on YouTube, so I will link those lessons below. Phase 3 was about getting those skills into your improvisation over tunes and how I go about practicing that. So I'd like to share that section with you. I hope it's useful for you. We're digging into this stuff on Jazz Skills at the moment for members, so if you're interested, then come and consider joining us there. But meanwhile, I hope you enjoy this live lesson. All right, moving on, some next steps. So the next steps for me would be working over tunes, because we've already spent time in the previous lessons, in the previous sections of this webinar, talking about creating phrases from scratch, talking about working over progressions. The next thing is, okay, when you're at that level, new people, I'm not talking about within a week, right? Work at that level for a long time. But when you are ready to start improvising over tunes, and how do you know that you're ready to improvise over tunes? Well, you should know the tune without looking at any music, not because it's in your memory, because you know the chord progression. You should be able to just comp the tune. If I say don't play the tune anymore, you should just be able to take, let's see what's on the screen at the moment. I've got Perdido, fine. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in C so everybody can understand it. I'm going to switch my track to the key of C, track only, and I'm going to focus just on my solo section. Let's just take an A section like that. These are the sorts of things we have on Jazz Skills, by the way. So you should be able to just comp the chords without having to think, what are they? Right? And just left hand. Because if you're not doing just left hand, and that's new to you, then you're going to be stuck when you're improvising, right? And if you're not sure if you've got enough freedom from it, ask a friend to quiz you while you're doing it. They should be asking you questions like, what is your postcode, right? What is your zip code for people outside the UK? Which school did you go to? You should be able to answer those questions while you're doing it. If you can't, how are you going to be creating improv lines on the spot? Because what is improvising? For me, it is not making it up as you go along like they teach in some schools. It's spontaneous composition. It's composing on the spot. And that's why all the components we're talking about are about composing, okay? The thing to be doing is working over tunes. Now get good at doodling over tunes. What do I mean by that? This kind of focus. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, be able to get through the whole tune with the simplest and dumbest ideas. Do not edit yourself. Do not second guess yourself. Do not go, but that's rubbish, but what do I do that's better? If you can't get through it without losing your place, without forgetting the chords, without losing the time, it's not going to work, right? You need to bring something to work with. So the one who's going to benefit from a swimming lesson is not the one who sits on the side of the pool and gets the instructor to explain buoyancy and floating and the science of it. You know what? Get in the water. When you can get to the other side, even if you're swimming like this and not like whatever, then you can start to improve your stroke and not be swimming like this with your head out and your feet almost touching the ground. Then you can do that, yeah? Same thing with this. And once you've been doodling, I'm going to demonstrate what I mean by this. Doodling over a tune, then you zoom into areas where you think you could use more work. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let me pick one of these tunes. Well, seeing as Perdido is on the screen, let me do that. I'll go back to the full version. I'll take the whole solo and just focus on that area. This is normally in B flat. I'm playing in C so more people on the webinar can understand what's happening. Soon after this, we're going to go to Q&A, guys, so bear with me. So this is the kind of thing I mean. Simple stuff. These are simple little phrases, right? I go, oh no, which scales do I use on that B section? Those are just dominant scales. The E7 scale, the E major scale with a flat 7. Same on A, right? Same on D, same on G. But you start to improve stuff. So the kind of thing you can improve is either zooming in on a particular area where you think you need more work. So what I mean is doodle, but let's say we've got a phrase. Now remember I said when you had that E minor 7 flat 5 to A7 to D minor, that was, at least on that area, we haven't got the E minor 7 flat 5 before it here, but even if it's just A7, it's still the D harmonic minor scale as we did earlier in the webinar. Yeah. And so I would work on stuff like this, joining the C major scale to the D harmonic minor. What are the notes? Okay, everybody can type this in the chat box. Which notes differ between the C major scale and the D harmonic minor scale? People who know their D harmonic minor will be able to say. Go. Excellent. Michael got it. B flat and C sharp, right? Yep. Some people said B flat. Yep. Some people got it. B flat. Yeah, Brian's got it. The B goes to B flat and the C goes to C sharp. Exactly. Those two change, right? And that helps me with phrases, because if I want to join these two scales, remember I said run a scale up and down. Okay, fine. Now I would have to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Just got to raise the C in this example, right? So let me just do that and you'll see what I mean, why this is going to give me a lot more things to practice. And in fact, when you're working on something like that, have the discipline to shut up on the rest. Don't even doodle on the rest. Maybe just chords on the rest, right? I missed it. I'll get it on the next one. Here we go. Okay, now how can I make more of that? Let me cut off the first two notes this time, right? I'll maybe catch it on the earlier A7 this time. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 1. Great. What else could I do? 1 and. I missed those two notes, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. There's this beautiful diminished chord in the D harmonic minor. And then we could come out to a D minor note, if you know where you are in the time. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, right? Are people following? Can I get some yeses or nos in the chat box? You will be able to watch this again, so hopefully you'll get that. But all I did there was cut off the first two notes of the C major scale, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and connected to the D harmonic minor scale. Perhaps you just got to check out that D harmonic minor scale. And went up this chord in the D harmonic scale, harmonic minor, which is that C sharp or D flat diminished. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. 1. Great. Phrases are starting to happen. A bit more magic is starting to happen, right? I could cut off one more note. Let's see what happens there, because the more you work on starting in different places, the more interesting your playing becomes. Like this. I'll cut off another note, so I'll come in on 2 and. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, I messed up my fingering there, but I just about got through it. Yeah, you get the idea. That's how you start to take things to the following level. Okay, I'm going to go straight over to Q&A. The stuff about hand independence that somebody asked. That is really to do with the things that we were talking about, knowing your materials, being able to comp the chords with 2 hands, being able to comp the chords with 1 hand. Your problem most likely is not hand independence as such. It's more that you're not solid enough with the chord progressions that are involved in your tunes. Okay, back to Ricardo's question, knowing the scales that go with each chord. Well, yeah, we did quite a bit of that. So I think that the time we really got into that today was when we took that E minor 7 flat 5, Ricardo, to A7, and we used the D harmonic minor scale over it. So that was one, because you can apply that to different minor 2/5s as well. But we do have an entire webinar in the members area of Jazz Skills that goes through every chord and scale that you're going to need. If it's not there, you don't need it. It's that simple. So we have a whole webinar where I've been through that. You've got a PDF that you can download as well. There's guidance notes. I've gone through every possibility that you're going to need. No problem, Ricardo. My pleasure. How to play swing rhythms without counting. I think we spoke about that. Do count them would be my honest advice to begin with, and then count in your head. And I would recommend people that asked about rhythm and improving that you really be counting when you're listening. So when you're listening to something, organize it this way. Can you first of all recognize 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Where is the 1 everywhere? You know, if you're really struggling with time. And then can you recognize where the sections are? I'm in an A section. I'm in a B section. That kind of thing. Can you feel that when the drum solo is on, when the bass solo is on? Do you still know when everyone's going to come back in? Those sorts of things can be really helpful. I really appreciate you all being here and sharing the energy, and I appreciate you taking part and asking your questions and getting involved. I hope you got things in there that you feel that you can action, or if you're too early for this, then hopefully you see what the terrain is that follows. Until next time, take care everybody. Bye for now.